Hello, I'm Essay, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin.
The year 1972 witnessed the publication of The Limits to Growth, a pivotal work by Donella H. Meadows, Dennis L. Meadows, Jorgen Randers, and William W. Behrens. This seminal study, undertaken under the auspices of the Club of Rome, presented a stark assessment of the planet's future, employing a novel methodology to forecast the consequences of unchecked exponential growth within a system of finite resources. Its genesis lay in a growing awareness of environmental degradation, resource depletion, and burgeoning global population. Fueled by the escalating ecological concerns of the preceding decade, prior to the limits to growth, the prevailing economic models largely disregarded the constraints imposed by the natural world, assuming sustained growth was feasible without significant ecological repercussions. The work challenged this assumption, positing that the inherent limits of the Earth's resources, coupled with the effects of pollution and population expansion, would inevitably lead to societal collapse. This radical perspective provided a counter-narrative to the pervasive optimism concerning continued global expansion. The core of the limits to growth rested on a system dynamics model, meticulously constructed using the system dynamics methodology pioneered by J. Forrester at MIT. This approach facilitated the simulation of intricate feedback loops and the interplay between multiple variables. The model, named World 3, comprised 5 key variables: population, industrial output, food production, resource depletion, and pollution. These variables were interconnected via complex feedback mechanisms, meticulously quantified and modeled. The work's ingenuity lay in its ability to translate qualitative concerns into quantitative projections. The model's structure was built around the principle of feedback, wherein changes in one variable triggered responses in others, creating a series of interconnected reinforcing or balancing loops. For instance, increasing industrial output, while initially boosting economic growth, simultaneously depleted resources and generated pollution, which in turn negatively impacted food production and human health. The book quantified the delays inherent in these feedback loops, illustrating how the time lags between cause and effect could lull society into a false sense of security, preventing timely interventions. The model produced several scenarios, projecting different outcomes based on varying policy choices. The business-as-usual scenario, assuming no significant changes in current trends, was particularly alarming. It predicted a decline in industrial output and living standards during the 21st century, driven by resource depletion and pollution. The book examined alternative scenarios, evaluating the effects of technological advancements, resource conservation, and population control. The implications of this work were startling. The solutions involved a multifaceted approach, emphasizing the need for a stabilized population, reduced resource consumption, and investment in pollution control. The direct impact of the limits to growth was immediate and profound. It ignited a global debate about the sustainability of economic growth and the limits of the planet's carrying capacity. The book quickly became a bestseller, translated into numerous languages and reaching a vast audience. A direct impact was witnessed in the rise of environmentalism and the growing awareness of climate change. The work informed the environmental movement, shaping the discourse around sustainability and influencing policy decisions globally. The book's early reception, however, was not uniformly positive. It faced criticism from various economic and scientific communities. Critics questioned the accuracy of the model's assumptions, the reliability of its data sources, and the validity of its projections. Some economists accused the authors of advocating for economic stagnation and underestimating the potential for technological innovation to overcome resource constraints. Despite these criticisms, the core message of The Limits to Growth persevered. The work's legacy lies in its pioneering use of computer modeling to explore complex global issues, its prescience in identifying crucial ecological and societal challenges, and its contribution to the intellectual landscape surrounding sustainability. The book's influence can be traced in numerous subsequent works and policy initiatives. Its impact extends to the development of Sustainable Development Goals, efforts to mitigate climate change, and the broader movement toward a more ecologically conscious world. The creation of The Limits to Growth was profoundly influenced by several factors. J. Forrester's system dynamics modeling approach provided the methodological foundation, enabling the dynamic simulations. The Club of Rome, providing financial support and a platform for dissemination, allowed the work's global impact. The growing awareness of the environmental crisis further solidified its influence. Moreover, The work directly influenced later studies and analyses. Its framework and methodology became a model for future environmental and systems analyses. Scholars and researchers continued to refine and update the model. Its lasting legacy confirms its status as a cornerstone in the evolution of environmental thought and practice. The enduring legacy of the limits to growth transcends its initial publication. Its profound impact continues to resonate within contemporary environmental discourse and scholarly inquiry. The work, born from the fertile ground of 1970's anxieties about the planet's carrying capacity, established a new paradigm for understanding the intricate interplay between human development and environmental constraints. The book's inherent strength lies in its meticulously crafted mathematical framework, a cornerstone for analyzing exponential growth in conjunction with finite resources. The core methodology, utilizing system dynamics modeling, enabled the authors to simulate complex interactions, revealing potential consequences of unchecked growth trends. This approach, though initially met with skepticism, demonstrated a novel capacity for predicting future scenarios. It provided, for the first time, a framework to assess the systemic ramifications of human activities on global resources. The authors explicitly outline the limits placed on growth by the finite nature of Earth's resources. They introduce the concept that exponential economic growth, unless checked by constraints such as resource depletion or pollution, will inevitably lead to a decline in societal well-being. This paradigm shift was critical. Work's analytical rigor was unparalleled for its time, forcing scholars to confront the implications of their models with considerable sobriety. The equations underpinning the model depicting resource depletion, pollution, and population interaction were not abstract theorizations. Instead, they serve as a precise language for expressing complex, emergent phenomena. The model's core strength was the explicit linking of growth rates, resource availability, and pollution levels to predict future scenarios. Crucially, the limits to growth was not merely a theoretical exercise, it possessed tangible implications for the time. The work sparked a critical dialogue within both scientific circles and the broader public. The book's findings, though controversial, prompted immediate concerns and subsequent analyses. It spurred the development of new mathematical models and analysis techniques. This stimulated a flurry of research aimed at refining the mathematical framework and addressing various critiques raised by the work. Later iterations and extensions of the work, including further refinement of the mathematical models of resource depletion, pollution, and population dynamics, demonstrate its enduring influence. The work's core methodology, while sometimes criticized for its methodological limitations, laid the groundwork for a substantial body of subsequent research. The specific techniques deployed, such as the use of specific differential equations to model ecological interactions, created a repeatable framework for future analysis. The book's influence reaches beyond academic circles. It directly impacted policy initiatives and sparked public discussion on sustainable development. For instance, the work served to legitimize concerns about the finite resources available on Earth. Its insights helped shape national policy and international agreements designed to address pollution and resource allocation issues. The explicit modeling of ecological interactions in an integrated way helped form the basis of modern ecological models. Furthermore, the initial critiques and subsequent revisions of the limits to growth highlight the importance of evaluating any scientific model with nuance and precision. Discussions surrounding the model's limitations, the robustness of its assumptions, and the accuracy of its predictions, crucial elements for rigorous scientific progress, demonstrated the iterative nature of scientific advancement. In conclusion, the limits to growth, despite its age, remains highly relevant. The book's enduring contribution lies not only in its prescient observations about the limitations of exponential growth, but also the way it established a language and a methodology for future analyses of complex environmental and societal interdependencies. This work laid the foundation for a necessary dialogue regarding the sustainability of human practices. It serves as a compelling example of how seemingly abstract mathematical models can offer profound insights into critical, real-world issues. Its legacy, while far from unquestioned, remains undeniable and pivotal in shaping discourse on planetary sustainability and environmental responsibility.
We really appreciate you tuning in to this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.